Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. And welcome to the show. If this is your first time being here, welcome. And make sure to hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. We're trying to get the channel to 150 subs. So if you want endless amounts of NFL content, now is your chance to help me reach my goal. So let's get right into it. Week 6 is officially upon us. And with that, well, like we do every Wednesday, we'll give you the power rankings, my power rankings, not NFL's, not ESPN's. No. You're going to get your fix with the Wicks power rankings. And we're also going to dive through my game picks that is done with not only myself, but two of my buddies and see if we're on the same page and whatnot. So let's get right into it because there is a lot to go over. We're going to go through the power rankings first, and we're going to start with 32 and work our way to number 1. So at 32, I think this is pretty easy. The Washington Commanders, they're not great, okay? Ron Rivera said it best. What is it that, why is your team farther behind than the rest of the teams in your division? Quarterback. Okay, well, they're struggling. They have issues. They're last. At 31, the Carolina Panthers, this team looks terrible. Baker Mayfield, I think, probably not faking an injury, but it definitely does add to the fact that he stinks. So does this team. So they're at 31, down 6 spots. And they didn't drop the farthest in my power rankings. Next, we have at 30, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're keeping them right where they are. I could have dropped them lower because they did get beat 38-3. Okay, but it was against the Bills. Steelers have no offense. Their defense is okay. Yeah, I know Bills put 38 on them, but it's hard to win ball games when your offense can't do anything. So they're at 30. At 29, the Seattle Seahawks down 1 spot. At 28, the Detroit Lions. They actually fall the furthest in my Week 6 power rankings. This team, the highest scoring offense in the NFL, goes into Foxborough and doesn't score a single point. Interesting. They suck. Sorry about it. Okay? Number 28. At 27, the Houston Texans, they're up 5 spots after beating the Jacksonville Jaguars. At 26, the Atlanta Falcons, they're up 1 spot. They did lose to Tampa Bay, but I think they put up a little bit of a fight. So we're going to keep them right there. I couldn't move them up any higher than that, so we'll leave it at that. At 25, the New York Jets up 4 spots after beating the absolute piss, okay, out of the Miami Dolphins, 40-17. Yikes. Maybe we got some dog mentality over there in New York. Now at 24, we have the Denver Broncos down 2 spots. This offense doesn't look like they're on the same page. Russ is not cooking. Okay? Broncos country, let's tie. Okay? Those are the words of the Gridiron Blitz, if you will. Now at 23, the Indianapolis Colts, they're up 1 spot in this power ranking. Probably shouldn't have, but we're going to keep them right there because I still think they are better than the Denver Broncos because they did beat them. Okay? Terrible primetime game. Probably the worst primetime game in NFL history. At 22, the Chicago Bears, they're up 4 spots. They put up a good fight against the Minnesota Vikings. Almost came back to win. They ultimately don't, but they still showed a lot of fight. At 21, the New England Patriots up 2 spots after shutting out the Detroit Lions. This team, with Bill Belichick still as their head coach, they can do whatever they want, and they will. At 20, the Cleveland Browns down 1 spot after losing to the Los Angeles Chargers. At 19, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're down 1 spot. They lose to the Houston Texans. Kind of a shocker a little bit as we've seen the Jacksonville Jaguars have a really hot or get off to a hot start this year. And to lose that game, I get it. It's a division game, so it's a little bit harder. But I think they have to win that one, so they're down to 19. At 18, the Las Vegas Raiders. They're up 2 spots. Okay? They didn't play a great football game against Kansas City, but I think if they don't go for 2, they kick the field goal. I think they end up winning that game maybe in overtime. Maybe before overtime even happens. So I got them up 2 at 18. At 17, the New Orleans Saints, they're down 1 spot. They did beat Seattle, but they let Seattle score a good amount of points. At 16, the Los Angeles Rams, they are down 6 spots. I have them falling the second. They fell the second most spots in my power rankings this week. So they lost to the Cowboys. They don't look great. Okay, they need OBJ. They need Von Miller. It just looks, something's not right over there. At 15, the Arizona Cardinals, they're down 3 spots. They go to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. They lose. What else do you want? This team looks slow. They start slow, and then they end fast. Can't do that, especially in today's game. At 14, the Los Angeles Chargers, they're down 1 spot. They did get a dub, but the team that I have above them, the Tennessee Titans, they did beat the Commanders. They look a little good, a little better than the Chargers anyways, so they're at 13 as of right now. At 12, the Miami Dolphins, they're down 6 spots as well, and it's basically due to the fact that Tua is out, Teddy is out, and they're down to their third-string quarterback, Skylar Thompson, and they get beat 40-17 from a very bad football team in the New York Jets. Okay, but maybe I'm wrong with saying that they're a bad football team. They're not great. Okay, so Miami's down 6 at 12. At number 11, the Cincinnati Bengals, they moved down 3 spots because they played a okay primetime game against the Ravens. They ended up losing. Okay, that offensive line has a lot of issues. They got to clean it up. I can see them making a playoff push. However, further than that, like a Super Bowl, I wouldn't count on it. At 10, the New York Giants, they actually made the biggest jump in my Week 6 power rankings. They move to 4-1 on the season after beating the Green Bay Packers in London. This team is rolling. I like what they got in head coach Brian Daboll because he is an absolute menace and a dog, to say the least. So Giants up 7 at number 10. At 9, the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, after beating the Los Angeles Rams and telling them who's boss, they're up 6 spots at number 9. At 8, the Green Bay Packers down 3 spots after losing to the New York Giants. This team has their issues. They have struggled, but they just, I don't know what it is. Something about them doesn't sit right with me, and it might be because I'm a Vikings fan, but at the same time, I've had these guys up in my power rankings for the last couple weeks, and will always until they prove me otherwise. At 7, up 2 spots, the Baltimore Ravens. This team looked okay against the Cincinnati Bengals, but they're getting dubs, and that's all that matters in this game. So they're at 7. Now the top 6. This might be a stretch, but I've seen some people put the Vikings at 5. I got the Minnesota Vikings at 6, up 5 spots. They're 4-1. They're finding a way to win close games. Last year, 14 or 15 games of one possession. I think they went 6-8 in those games. So 14. Right now, we find ourselves as 4-1. Or 3-1, I think it is. 3-1 this year in one possession games. So what does that tell you? We're finding a way to win the games when it matters. The Minnesota Vikings are at 6. At 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're up 2. They beat the Falcons. They're still not great, but you got to keep them up there because it's Tom Brady. At 4, my top 4 are the exact same as last week. At 4, we have the 49ers. They destroyed, the Carolina Panthers, causing the firing of Matt Rule. At number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. They found a way to squeak one by against Las Vegas Raiders, so I'm not going to move them. At number 2, the Buffalo Bills put up 38 points against Pittsburgh Steelers. We've talked about it. They're still a team, so they're at 2, and I couldn't move them to number 1, even though I wanted to. But I can't, because the number 1 team, the Philadelphia Eagles, are undefeated. Doesn't get better than that. They are the best in the NFL at this point. Plain and simple. 5-0. So those are my week 6 power rankings. Now let's go over to the game picks, which is done by myself. Y4. You can follow him on Spotify or go listen to him. And then Logan Baumgart. He's also on Spotify as well. So let's get right into it. Let's see our game picks. Now for our game picks, the green circle is the teams that we picked, are the majority of us. So 2 out of 3 of us or 3 out of 3 of us had picked that team to win. Otherwise, you'll see the initial of their name right below the team that they picked. So starting with Thursday Night Football, Washington Commanders at the Chicago Bears. Me and John have the Bears winning. Logan has the Commanders. Then we have San Francisco 49ers at the Atlanta Falcons. Again, a no-brainer. San Fran wins this one. Then we have the New England Patriots at the Cleveland Browns. I got the Patriots winning this game. I just think with Bill Belichick and what he's able to do, he's a mastermind. He's going to get a dub against his old team. However, John and Logan have the Browns winning. Jets at Green Bay. We all chose Green Bay Packers. This seems like a no-brainer as well. Then you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. This is going to be a good game. Sort of. The Colts stink. Okay, Jacksonville has something special going. So that's why I rolled with Jacksonville as well as Logan. John, however, thinks Indianapolis will win this game. Then we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Miami Dolphins. Vikings are on a roll. The Dolphins have to roll with a third-string quarterback in Skylar Thompson. I think we're going to be too much for them to handle, and the Vikes will get the dub. Logan and I picked the Vikes. John picked the Dolphins. Then we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the New Orleans Saints. Logan and I chose the Saints to win this game because of, well, for me anyways, it was because the offensive line of that Cincinnati Bengals team is atrocious. Okay, terrible. And that Saints defensive front is going to eat all day long. Saints win this game. John thinks the Bengals will. Then we have the Baltimore Ravens at the New York Giants. Me and Logan picked the Giants winning this ball game. However, I might eat my words here, but I think John might be right. I think John might be right, and I might be wrong. John's picking the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. Now, the second half of Slate, or the second half of the week, we have the Buccaneers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We all decided that the Buccaneers will win this game. The Steelers have offensive issues. Their defense is still pretty good, but I think it still won't be enough to stop Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Then the Carolina Panthers will go over to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Panthers just fired their head coach. Maybe they have some extra fire under their butt, but this team sucks. Okay, plain and simple. They're terrible. So, LA wins. Then we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be another good game. However, I think it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to go to the fourth quarter where the better team comes away with the victory. John and I have the Arizona Cardinals, where Logan picked the Seahawks. Then we go on to the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be probably America's game of the week. If I had to guess, it would make a lot of sense. This should be a primetime game. I mean, can we find some way to move this to Monday night? Because Broncos-Chargers Monday Night Football, not great, okay? But we all chose the Bills to win this game because they're on fire. This offense looks good. And yeah, so that's our answer. And then Sunday Night Football, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This can be a good game. It's a division matchup. The Eagles are rolling. All three of us chose the Eagles to start their season 6-0. Then we go to Monday Night Football. The Broncos suck, as of right now anyways. The Chargers still have some time management issues. They go for it way too often, but they fight till the very end of the game. And we all three chose the Chargers in this one. Then you see the bye teams. There's 4 teams that have the bye weeks. It starts this week. That'll be the Detroit Lions, the Houston Texans, and the Las Vegas Raiders, as well as the Tennessee Titans. So those are my power rankings, my Week 6 power rankings and Week 6 game picks. You can let me know in the comments what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and what you would change. Also, drop a like and make sure to hit that subscribe. Let's get the channel to 150 subs by November 1st. Have a great rest of your day, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.